So then the question, metaphysically, Brian, what is home?
Yeah.
Where is home? Mm-hmm. If we lose home, can we regain it? Can we redefine it? Odysseus in the Odyssey is showing us how to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, being a guy of a soul orientation, I was thinking about the story this morning and how it could be read as a coming home to soul, to what really matters to not just Odysseus, but to each one of us. And I think that's what's really dragging him back, through all these trials and temptations, all these places where he could have set up home and lived out in eternity with a beautiful goddess like Calypso, but something keeps pulling him to that place of home, to what he really cares about. And that to me is related to soul.
Beautifully, beautifully put. One of my favorite passages in the entire poem, and one that I write about in book 5, is the exchange between Calypso and Odysseus when she comes out to the edge of her island and she sees him kind of mooning, that great old verb. He's looking out at sea and dreaming about Ithaca. He's dreaming about his wife, his son, the land. And she comes up to him.
Probably feeling nostalgic, right?
Nostalgic. There you go. That's the origin of it all. Kind of mooning over home. And she asks him very plaintively, why am I not good enough for you?
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm beautiful. I'm translucent. I'm offering you, she says, immortality. And the hint is, and she says, I will make love to you for the rest of eternity, every night, twice a day if you want. Why am I not good enough for you? And my translation of his response, and a kind of a combination of many of the translations over the years, is, you are beautiful. You are a goddess. You have given me an almost irresistible offer, but you're not Penelope. Mm-hmm. It is such a breathtaking moment, and breathtaking for me. If you've read any of my earlier books, my book on the Venus de Milo, or Sisyphus, or my book on soul, my books on art, taking the breath away, that gasp is the sign that you are having an encounter with real art. If it doesn't take your breath away, if that Vermeer doesn't take your breath away, or the new Paul McCartney album, which I was listening to this morning, if it doesn't take your breath away, it can be entertaining, technically proficient, important culturally, but it ain't art until it gets that gasp. And when you read the Odyssey and you come to that moment, you realize this is also a book, surprisingly, about love. And the way that love draws us home again.
Yeah, you're reminding me of what James Hillman called the aesthetic response, that aesthesis, that sharp intake of breath that stops us.
I had a long exchange with him years ago about this, with John Densmore, who's a common friend of the drummer for the Doors, Michael Mead and some others. And we were talking about beauty in the arts. And he was saying that notion of the gasp, the taking of the breath away, is actually the origins, and as a word guy, I love this, of aesthetics, which is the study of beauty. What kind of influence does beauty have on us? And he says it comes from the Greek word aesthesis, which means the compression of the ribs, which makes you gasp. So the origin, isn't that gorgeous? The origin of the study of beauty itself is this notion that you're breathing ordinarily, breath being a synonym for soul. Let's remember that. It's beauty, breath, and soul all around the world. It takes your breath away. And at this moment in the Odyssey, I believe it turns from being just one more hero's journey. And remember, I can use that phrase advisedly because I used it for my book and my film on Campbell. I'm one of those, for better or for worse, who help bring that into the cultural horizon, because it's been as much used as abused. But I say this is beyond the hero's journey in the best sense of the phrase. And with all due respect and love for Joe Campbell, in that he's not trying to prove himself, Odysseus, anymore, with doing something testosterone bound. He has and this is at the heart of my book, and this is why I'd love being on the radio with you about this now. I believe Odysseus lost his soul at war. Mm-hmm. 10 years, not 2 months, not a 4-month stint in Vietnam or a 6-month double stint here in Afghanistan. 10 years. And in the end, he began to do, or he was guilty of some savage, treacherous behavior, including violating some of the gods' temples and so on. And for this, Homer is telling us, we are deeply, deeply wounded and grieved, and we must heal ourselves. So the formula, as I see it, he's not just lost. There's a common joke. There are even New Yorker cartoons about why he got lost. Maybe he turned left at Greenland rather than right. And so a 6-week trip becomes 10 weeks. No, he's a lost soul.
Yeah, or he suffered soul loss.
Soul loss is was it Sarah Ingerman and others have written about. He is definitely suffering soul loss. And as one of the great commentators has said, he translates this as the need for Odysseus to return home, which is going to take a long time. You lose your soul. It's not, as I taught for Esalen at 30 years, so I've earned the right to say this. You can't get your soul back just in a 3-day workshop at Esalen, right? Yeah. It's a long, long process. So Homer saying it took 10 years is telling us exactly this, what psychotherapy has taught us since roughly 1900. With Freud and Jung and Adler and the others, it is a long, long process to win your soul back. That's the phrase that I use in my book. You just don't grab it. You don't seize it. It's not aggressive. You win your soul back through an authentic life, through selflessness,
through love.
There you go. Through love. That is the one. And it's announced here. To me, it's staggering. 2,750, roughly, years ago, Homer's telling us there is one way to get your soul back. If you've betrayed yourself, if you've gone against your own destiny, if you have wronged yourself or people that you love, there is only one way home. That's love. And I don't mean sentimental Valentine's Day love. I mean love behaving in the service of someone or something else for their own betterment. And it takes a long time for any of us to learn this, but he does.
Yeah. And like what home represents to him, is those, what are they? The virtues, the arete, like all of that is kind of bound up in his idea of home, his duty as a father, as a husband, as a leader. So caring for the people of the land and his own family. So it's he's bound by a kind of a sense of duty or responsibility as well. So it's not just self-serving.
Wow, that's such a beautiful, nuanced point, Brian. Thank you.